I'm Pia. You're watching KiniNews. MACC continues to pile on the charges against Muhyiddin Yassin. Today, the PN chief was accused of money laundering involving millions of ringgit.
Former Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin today claimed trial to one count of money laundering before Shah Alam Sessions Court judge Rozilah Salleh. The charge involves 5 million ringgit linked to the Jana Wibawa program. The 76-year-old is accused of receiving 5 million ringgit in proceeds from the illegal activities from Bukhari Equity Sendirian Berhad and into Bersatu's account ending with 041 on January 7, 2022. The Pagoh MP may be jailed for up to 15 years and fined 5 times the amount involved or 5 million ringgit, whichever is higher. On Friday last week before the Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court, Muhyiddin pleaded not guilty to 4 counts of abuse of power and 2 counts of money laundering involving 232.5 million ringgit linked to the same program. Muhyiddin's charges came after he was summoned to the MACC headquarters in Putrajaya on Thursday last week. A small group of supporters gathered outside the Shah Alam court complex to show their support for Muhyiddin as he arrived at 8:20 a.m.
Bersatu leaders have been slapped with several charges by the MACC recently, and it appears it is not only the PN party under the graft pastor's watch.
The MACC has sufficient evidence to bring charges against an alleged PAS member. The person was said to be caught on video handing out cash to voters in Marang, Terengganu during GE15. According to sources close to the case, investigators have concluded interviews with witnesses of the incident and would be proposing corruption charges to prosecutors soon. They are working out one last part before wrapping up the probe, said a senior MACC official. The high-ranking source spoke to Malaysia Kini on condition of anonymity. According to MACC insiders, investigators have questioned scores of witnesses, including some 90 voters. They had purportedly collected payment from PAS for voting. From their probe, the investigating officers were said to have found a clear element of corruption in the incident.
The Women's March took place in Kuala Lumpur yesterday, and police have already announced that they will be questioning participants who attended the rally.
The police have opened an investigation paper on the Women's March 2023, which was held in Kuala Lumpur on Sunday. Dangwangi Police Chief Nur Delhan Yahaya said the assembly held in front of the Sogo Complex and Dataran Merdeka is being investigated under the Peaceful Assembly Act and the Minor Offences Act. In a statement, he said around 150 individuals joined the rally with, "Imagine if men are as disgusted with rape as with periods. Child, not bride. Trans women are women. Police your behavior, not my body." Placards in their hands. He added that all identified individuals at the rally will be called to the Dangwangi Police Headquarters for their statements to be recorded. Nur Delhan also said that the investigation paper will be completed and forwarded to the Deputy Public Prosecutor for further action. He then urged the public not to partake in assemblies that do not abide by the law and that action can be taken against those who are involved. According to a statement by the Organizing Committee of Women's March Malaysia, it said the march aimed to bring people together to call for gender equality, justice, and an end to all forms of discrimination against women and girls.
The organizer of the rally says they are disappointed that the rally is being probed, especially since the current government had used public assembly and protests before it had power.
The Women's March Malaysia 2023 Organizing Committee has strongly condemned the police probe against those involved in the peaceful rally. In a statement, the organizer reminded the government of its long history of democratic actions and expressions and the use of public assembly and protests over the last several decades prior to it coming to power. The organizers also said they are disheartened and disappointed at being penalized for exercising their democratic rights to fight for a better Malaysia. The statement was in response to Dangwangi Police Chief ACP Noor Delhan Yahaya saying the organizer will be called for questioning. Confirming this, the organizers said the summoning marks a troubling precedent against democratic action under the newly elected government. The march took place outside the Sogo shopping complex in Kuala Lumpur yesterday.
Mark your calendars for March 31st because the federal court already has. That's when we'll find out the verdict of Najib's SRC conviction review.
Najib Abdul Razak will know on March 31st whether he succeeds in his apex court review. The former Prime Minister is seeking to quash his conviction and sentencing in the 42 million ringgit SRC international corruption case. The federal court, through an email earlier today, informed the former finance minister's legal team about the decision date. Najib's counsel, Muhammad Farhan Muhammad Shafi, confirmed the verdict date when contacted by the media. The apex court heard the former prime minister's review application over his conviction, as well as a 12-year jail sentence and 210 million ringgit fine in the case involving 7 charges of abuse of power, criminal breach of trust, and money laundering. On August 23rd last year, a separate federal court panel dismissed Najib's appeal to quash his conviction, as well as his jail sentence and fine in the corruption case. Having exhausted his appeals before the Court of Appeal and the federal court, Najib has gone before the current federal court panel to hear his review.
Earlier this month, Wee Ka Seong revealed that he received a letter of demand from an egg importer after he raised the issue in Parliament. Now, Azmin Ali faces the same for a speech he gave.
A company that was given permission to import eggs from India to Malaysia is threatening to sue former Gombak MP Azmin Ali. This is in connection with a speech the Bersatu leader made about the business. Azmin claimed on Saturday that controversial businessperson Deepak Jaikishan was given a contract for egg imports via direct negotiation and was exempted from food safety checks. Responding to the speech, JNE Advanced Tech Sendirian Berhad denied Azmin's allegations regarding the direct negotiation and food safety exemptions. The sole importer of eggs from India said it was never awarded any direct negotiations by the government, nor did JNE ever sell nor offer to sell the eggs imported from India to the government or any relevant government agency or GLCS. It said Azmin's statement is a blatant lie designed to confuse the general public in order to deflect the criminal case filed against his party president, Muhyiddin Yassin. Instead, the company said it had requested permission from the government to import eggs from India to address a severe shortage in the market and was given a temporary approval effective until June 2023. JNE has given Azmin 72 hours from today to make a corrective statement to the company as well as on social media or be sued. Azmin, during his speech on Saturday night, did not name JNE and focused his allegations squarely on Deepak. The company made no mention of the purported Deepak connection in today's statement.
Treason is punishable by death in Malaysia. This is why the government is viewing the possibility of Sulu claimants getting help from within the country very seriously.
The government is investigating if any parties in the country helped the alleged descendants of the Sulu Sultanate in their claims against Malaysia. De facto Law Minister Azalina Othman said this would be an act of treason, punishable by death. In a group interview today, she said the government will investigate who is possibly involved within the country who has provided the unusual strength to the claims. She said the claims should not have happened, and if they wanted to make a claim, it should have been done in 2013. A group claiming to be the heirs of the Sulu Sultanate has been seeking international arbitration to get $14.92 billion from Putrajaya. Malaysia is engaged in a legal battle to nullify the lawsuit, with Azalina leading the team. The Sulu legal action is in response to Malaysia cutting off annual lease payments of 5,300 ringgit for Sabah to the Sultanate in 2013 after the Lahad Datu invasion. The lease was based on an agreement between the Sulu Sultanate and a private company in 1878, which Malaysia later inherited in 1963. Azelina believes the true motive behind the international arbitration was to get the lease payments reinstated. However, she said the government will not succumb to such tactics and will strive to defend the sovereignty of the country from being violated.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news update. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Pia. Thanks for watching.